Louisville, Allen. I'm a volunteer, retired chemist. It's all around the city.
Watch you, Miss Allen. Good evening, Scott Love, Economic Development Coordinator for Louisville Metro Government.
Good afternoon, Clinton Bennett, Photography and Video Services, ClintonBennett.com for more information.
Good evening, my name is Erica Denise Bledsoe, known in the city as Erica Denise. I'm the new coordinator of Fine Arts, and outside of that, I am the owner of Erica Denise Entertainment.
What is it?
Erica Denise Entertainment.
Oh,
.com is the website.
I'll get that for you later.
And I'm Sam Watkins, president of LCCC and facilitating these sessions.
And ladies, we are doing introductions, so you came at a perfect time. I'd like you to take a moment to get a seat, and then we'll ask you to introduce yourselves. If y'all can introduce yourselves, and we're going to continue.
Okay, my name is Melissa Love, Virginia Miranda.
All right, thank y'all for coming tonight. We're just getting started, so we've just gotten through introductions. We do have a very light agenda, but it's rich with information. And the heart of the agenda is the workshop where we're talking about essential small business support and incubation services. So I want to introduce our facilitator tonight, who is Sam Watkins Jr., President and CEO of Louisville Central Community Centers. He's also the founder of this Old Walnut Street development. So he is the lead developer of this complex that we are now located in, we being Louisville Central Community Centers, Inc. Now I would give you a long, glorious introduction, but then that will probably take away from some of the presentation, because a part of what we're going to hear is how we got to this place, where we are in the history of the organization and the history of this movement called Old Walnut Street. And then more specifically, we're going to get into talking about incubation services, strategies for business success, what resources are available to entrepreneurs, the types of technical support that's available for Old Walnut Street, and we're really going to get into talking more about success tips. Then we're going to open it up for discussion. So without further, I'd like to introduce Sam Watkins, who's going to facilitate us tonight.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm so delighted to have those who were with us the first time back with us. That means we do a little something right, we hope. And certainly for those who are new to us, we welcome you as well and hope that you can become engaged and also find value in what we are attempting to transfer information to you that we hope will be added value to your business. Louisville Central Community Center has served this community now for 66 years and counting, and we've learned a lot, some painful lessons along the way. I've had the great distinction of leading this organization for 27 years. Never thought I'd be here this long, but it's been a life experience, one I've cherished, and has certainly grown and developed over those many years. So I'm blessed to have had the kind of support of an organization who has nurtured me and protected me and comforted me in some very challenging and difficult times, as well as some very challenging and exciting work. So I stand before you as a testament to what strong leadership embraced around not only an individual but an organization can really turn side drinks into really some beautiful wine. So represented here tonight is, I think, a testament to that type of development. This is for me, a very interesting workshop, and one that I cherish because I've done a lot of rhetoric and conversation about business development and why we exist as an organization. We have clear goals and expectations of this organization, clear goals and expectations of my board regarding my leadership role in leading this organization. And our reason for all this are some data that I'm going to share with you. And I say this because we have learned to be realists here. We really do not play around with data. We absorb it, we chew on it, we massage it. At the end of the day, we kind of live by real-time, real live experiences that we not only are affected by as an organization, but also our service population is impacted by it. Median household income in West Louisville, $22,000. That's median household income. So average household, average income in a particular household represents about the total household in West Louisville represents $22,000. Minimum wage income is $15,000. A bit over $15,000. That's $7.25 an hour times 40 hours times 52 weeks. So median household income in West Louisville is $22,000. Minimum wage is a little bit over $15,000. So keep that in front of you. East End, what we did with a recent study was target East End community on the east side of I-65, or east side of downtown Louisville, and did like comparison of population, and then carved out a space on the east side immediately east of downtown with same population size, same demographic size. That population's average median household income is $59,600. $60,000. 3 times the median income just on the other side of downtown business district as compared to this side of downtown business district. Huge disparity. Median home value, $67,000 is the median home value in West Louisville. $230,000 median home value east of downtown business district. Registered businesses, there are 1,850 businesses registered in West Louisville. 7 areas. And eastern side of downtown business district, there are 6,350 businesses. Huge, huge difference. A bachelor's degree or higher for 70% in West Louisville. 7% of the population is a 6 degree population. In east part of Louisville is 55%. So income, education are all correlation. The unemployment rate for West Louisville, this is, I think, very, very conservative. It's 13%. This is about a year ago. Population unemployment is 4% in East Louisville. 3 times higher. So income, unemployment, education, home value, those assets, those wealth building foundations, huge disparity between the two. And so our organization has overcome, why are we surprised about the social impact? Why we have these big articles, why we have the mayor and leaders and all, they overreact. We think the things that happen, people don't overreact to this. That's what we say. We should overreact about these numbers that are lead indicators to the social impact of things that get us all out of shape. So that's why we are in the business that we're in, the LCCC. That's why we built this campus. This is why we established as our base measurement job creation and wealth building. Those are the reasons. Those are the only reasons we did it. Because we believe, quite frankly, after 66 years of history, that a lot of us have got confused about the definition of poverty. Poverty is not a social condition measurement. It's an economic condition measurement. Poverty is determined by how much money you have. Not every time you go to jail, not every time you knock your wife down or your husband upside the head. Not every time you drop out of school. It has nothing to do with the economic says that if a certain person with a certain household size doesn't make X amount of money, you're in poverty. If you make more than that, you're not in poverty. So it's 1 penny difference. If you find you in poverty, 1 cent difference, you're not in poverty. And one takeaway we want you to take from this lesson is that poverty is an economic measure. Yet the debate and the rhetoric and the politics and all get caught up with all the social things that drive the conversation, and nobody wants to talk about this. Well, the LCC is going to talk about it. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to act. So tonight, I'm going to work hard to try to make a case to you, not only as a result of this measurement that we're using as an organization, why we chose to invest upward of $10 billion in one of the most impoverished neighborhoods in America. Not just Louisville, but in America. Why did we do that? I have to mention that a lot of people thought we were crazy, crazy. Waste of money. This ain't gonna happen, that don't happen. All those doomsday players out there, we know that. But our experience and our motivation and our mission is meant to counter that, because our mission requires us to see every individual as a potential citizen of wealth. Period. That includes children, it includes infants, toddlers, school age, grandmothers, grandfathers. You look at them as wealth builders. And if we can help make a case that the transfer of knowledge and information, the sharing of ideas and concepts, all in the context of understanding that we're in a capitalist environment, we're in a capitalist system, we think we can make some headway. But as long as we keep allowing community to keep the head in the sand, down below the ground, tracking based on what happened in the past, we're telling you that the past will not lead us to the right. It requires transformational change to break through the notion that wealth building is something wrong with it. And yet I can tell you that poverty is dead. Kills every day. Fools are created from poverty, economic condition, and they act out in very social ways that scare every one of you when you get around this place. And we think enough of that. So, what do we do about it? We have created a couple of directions that we are pleased to report to you. We invested here in economic development. So the 110,000 square feet of space that we have here on this campus, the roof, we've dedicated over 80,000 square feet for job creation, commercial development, small business development, major business development. Our goal over time is to create over 200 jobs on this campus. That's the drivers, that's the basis for the investment. And we're trying to live by what we preach. We are open to any advice or counsel that will help us be successful in creating those outcomes. Don't care where it comes from. And we've learned to control our nerves and our emotions and all the kinds of things that make us want to put a wall up and open up to new ideas, new thoughts, new approaches, new directions, and get that body of work done. And we test it all the time. And we've learned to stop overreacting to the test, is absorb the test, and open up and see it for what it is. It was cut down the emotions, but also a little bit. I talked to a businessman that runs a corporation with about 45 employees there. I talked to Jim Louisville, who runs whatever you run within your environment. Is that get rid of 80% of emotions. Hear what people like Scott Love says, you can get through what it you think it's personal, keep blocking it, well, you just do your own web and you just put web and something like that. So that's ultimately what we're going to be talking about as we try to drive through this maze of activity we're trying to create here. That first floor is the business incubator that we are invested in, and we've invested upward of about $1 million in creating that first floor incubator. The third and fourth floor, we've invested very little in that. They cleaned it up, prepared it for the investment. It's about 32,000 square feet. We've set it aside. We as an institution, we do not need it, and we hope to attract a major business to occupy that whole entire two-floor space. We're not interested in being a big-time landlord here at all. That's not a part of our outcome measurement. It's to create the wealth piece through job creation and through entrepreneurship development. So those are really the takeaways for the actual space. The other spaces that we're creating are kind of educational drivers that push individuals to excel, whether it be through arts educational programs, the LCCC, through special events and projects that really tells a story about what has happened here, but also attract people to see the world a little bit differently. And so we're really committed to that. And we're trying to bring in high value, high thinking people within our organization, both at the voluntary level as well as staff level, to really move the ball along the road. So that's where we are with this development. We're proud of it. We expect to invest probably another $2 to $3 million over time to complete this entire campus and get it operational and functional. We will be starting on construction in our Family Strengthening Center. For us, around the table, it's really a conference center where it'd be a gathering place for people. A lot of workshops and training be done by other people like this in all those spaces over there. It's about 11,000 square feet of space. We'll be able to seat about 300, 400 people for a meal, or a couple of spaces up and create small spaces. Be 3 private rooms over there for private family affairs, entertainment affairs. Someone's fall in love and want to set up a big fine table with the lady that went in and the man that will leave in. Just you can do all those wonderful things. Be served by chef, private chef. That we have we'll be announcing in July, August, a very well-established restaurant who will be joining us here to do the actual catering and actually create a sit-down restaurant for this community. So it happened here in the atrium. So that's what we are excited about. But let me get to the hard subject of beyond the concept of what we're doing is how we're going to do this. And it's been evolving over the last few years. Trying to figure out the best way to deliver on this. We have a number of community partners who have pledged support and services to this end. We're trying to build out right now a nucleus of people who really are experts and will be served as counsel to this incubation effort. That means that we have individuals who, based on their particular business, will have expertise there right beside that business owner, helping to see the way and to drive the bus down that road to success. So those are all the pieces we're still pulling together. University of Louisville made a major commitment to us to provide master level students who are doing specialized work in both international trade, involved with language development, business etiquette, stuff like that, that you have to sell in Japan and in China and things like that. So we're putting those pieces together, and this workshop training ends up with the e-commerce store is tied to that type of block, where we have experts who help us create those storefronts on the computer that will speak in the different languages that you set it wherever it is. It's amazing what you can do with that stuff. So those are exciting pieces. Kevin is leading and will be sharing it with you a couple weeks from now. I've invited a guest to help me present this portion of our workshop. Scott Love, who's been involved us and helped us along the way in evolving to where we are today. First slide talks about some of the things I just mentioned, is our creating jobs and wealth. We really do want to foster a community entrepreneurial climate, and that's why people like Scott Love are important. And we're pushing Scott and supporting him to find new and exciting ways to instill into our community entrepreneurship development that's real and tangible, and we see results. We want to diversify our local economies. We think the wonderful mom and pop stores have done their duty, given where they started. But the new economy, the new competition, which is worldwide, requires us to create different models that drive success in business development and expansion. It's required, it's not optional. In a capitalist society, I'm here to tell you that people really don't care whether we fail in business or not. It just really doesn't matter. If you don't believe it, if you go and look at some of the places that used to have a business there and was torn down and been replaced by another business, out of about 6 months, you have a hard time remembering what business was there before it left. I just had an experience the other day. I was sitting trying to figure out what was there before that bank. And it took my wife to have remembered there was a service station there. I just couldn't remember because that's how fast things are. The bulldozer knocked the building down in 1 day. And in 3 months, there's a new bank building there. It's absolutely shocking. So it's just that fast. And it's just that penetrating. And so you don't have time. I also tell you that it's not a big deal if you fail in business. It's only if you make it a big deal. Entrepreneurs fail all of the time. But as certain parts of communities get bent out of shape and embarrassed and shamed because my business got closed up because I didn't make it, I'm here to tell you that the other side of the equation is those people get up next morning and get rolling again. It's absolutely the truth. But there's some people, because they go into business for the wrong reasons, my name on business, my reputation on business, bull. Nobody cares about that. It's how much is your product, and is it a good price, and will it do what it says it will do? And if you can't deliver it, they turn, what's your product, a good price, and a lot of people find out, for example, you go on the internet now, they don't even go to discount stores and to the Walmart. People buying online. And not have any hard feelings about it. Don't care how many jobs you lose a career. It's just not that emotion to people who look for the best deal. So those harsh realities are really in front of us and happening to do. Encouraging women and minority entrepreneurship, just because of the numbers I just gave you. If there's only 1,800 businesses registered in West Louisville as compared to 6,300 businesses in another part of town, they're so far behind. It just makes you want to listen. And the only way we're going to catch up, the only way we're going to build wealth, where the community can grow from it, is that we create it again. In other words, nobody's going to move here who's wealthy because we want them to. We're just not going to do that. We'll have amenities, we'll have the infrastructure, we'll have the support, we'll have the education, we'll have the home values. People have $1 million homes, they're not going to buy it. They live in a $6,000, $7,000 house. You wouldn't do it. But you have to pay capital gain tax on 50% of the money. It's just all the systems in place to keep you going upward. And my wife and I learned that. We sell a house, you can't buy a cheaper house. Because you give the tax base to understand. You got to buy the same house value or higher. That's the economic system we live in. And that's why people buy cars, do wealthy, buy this. They can't go back to being not wealthy. So they pay all the capital gains that's left over there. They have to pay capital gains for 50% of the return on investment. 50%. So the accountant is always tracking them, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy a bigger house. No, a bigger house than that, you know, or at least a more expensive house. And so that's the pressure we are under. Trying to identify businesses that have relationships that can create spin-offs. What that really means is that we don't buy in that you, because you own the business, you're all that. Business profitability is much more important than who owns the business. In fact, you'll find a lot of smart, wealthy people don't want majority control of their business. They want to be a minority. You do all the work, you're sending out results. So you do well. There's so much work you can do. You do all the work, I'm a minority, you make all decisions, as long as you don't affect my return. You do anything you want to do. But if you make my return, I'm selling my interest and I'm going to kill the company. That's a capitalist system. So we want to try to create those spin-off businesses that you are doing and that you're doing, and you're all like-minded, says, hey, we can capitalize that business, hire someone who really is expert in that business, we're a minority owner, he or she's a majority owner, go with it, girl. Go, girl, go. Multitasking as investors make a lot more money than business owners on 3, 4, 5 businesses. How much time you get? So that's why I like the second on the bottom bullet, by identifying opportunity to spin off, spin out on business opportunities. And then of course for us as a nonprofit, we really want to see the community vitalized. We show you a piece at the end that demonstrates our vision for a community being revitalized. Scott, I'm going to call you up now, and what I've asked Scott to do is join me in presenting the type of support systems that are in place in our communities. In this case, represented by his office, support and encourage business development, and he's here to share that information with you. And I go through our specific indicator that might lead us to concluding with our presentation.
All right, thank you, Sam, and it's my pleasure to be here this evening. Again, my name is Scott Love. I'm Economic Development Coordinator for Louisville Metro. We've enjoyed a long-standing relationship with LCCC, and I thank you for this opportunity. Just want to do 3 things very quickly. I'm going to take my seat and let Sam continue. A number of those points that were on the screen really hit home with my presentation today. First thing I want to let you know that currently I work in what's called economic growth and innovation. You may have seen in the newspaper or on TV that we're changing that now. We've got a whole new agency that we're bringing on board. It's called Louisville Forward. Louisville Forward is where we've taken all of the agencies in city government that were responsible for business development as well as the built environment and combined them all into one agency. That agency, the tag for the agency is called Louisville Forward, and there was 2 divisions under Louisville Forward. Basically, the old Economic Development Division, and then we have a new division called Develop Louisville. Under the Economic Development Division, you'll still have the Parking Authority, our local food initiatives, our globalization department. Kevin works a little bit with us on that. Our brownfields, our loan program that we have, that we refer to as the Medco loan program. And then you may have also heard as part of this, we've taken back all of our major attraction and expansion work from GOI, our Chamber of Commerce, and that is now housed in Louisville. I want to bring that up because it's very important. We're going to be now managing 5 clusters that we believe are really key to Louisville's growth. So as you look at planning your business or expanding or spinning off your businesses, these are the clusters that you really want to think about in terms of growing. Our clusters are lifelong wellness and aging care. The city of Louisville is the world leader in that industry cluster. We have more Fortune 500 and 1,000 companies based in Louisville in that cluster than anywhere else in the world. So you say, well, Mr. Love, we want to start a business, but we're not quite sure where we should start. That would be a wonderful cluster to start. That will produce probably a significant number of jobs in the next decades or so to come. So I would definitely want you to take a look at that. Also, logistics and e-commerce. Obviously, we have UPS. We have hundreds of companies that are located to our city just because of UPS and its capacity. So you want to be mindful of that cluster. Advanced manufacturing. You may be familiar with the BEAM initiative. Anyone heard of BEAM? Now you want to get familiar with BEAM. That's the Bluegrass Economic Advancement Movement. Bluegrass Economic Advancement Movement. It's a collaboration between the city of Louisville and the city of Lexington primarily. We've got 50 counties that are involved in that, where we're pushing advanced manufacturing. As part of that advanced manufacturing then comes in the state's global piece, whereas Mr. Watkins alluded to several times, that we really are looking to have a trade with other countries. And so, as you know, our whole economy now is a global economy. So even at the small business level, micro business level, you have an opportunity to play in that game. And so we want you to be aware of that. Also, food and beverage cluster. So we said, well, you know, I've got entertainment coming in. Erica's got entertainment. How could that fit in the food and beverage cluster? And how can I capitalize on that? And then finally, our business services. Those ancillary things of training and things like that that we'll bring to the business community, whether small business, mid-sized business, or large business. We want to make sure that you have all of the tools in your toolbox, all the arrows in your quiver, to make sure that you're successful. Those will be the 5 clusters that Louisville will be hanging its hat on for our economic development and the growth of our city, probably for about the next 20 years at least. And so you want to get familiar with that information, and then maybe see how your business now can play a role in that. Or perhaps you want to create another business. You know, we have a lot of serial entrepreneurs in our town, and you certainly can be one of them. So that's under our economic development arm. Also now under Louisville Forward, we have what's called Develop Louisville. That takes care of all of our real estate related matters. So we have advanced planning. That's under that. We have our brownfield, our housing rehab. Mr. Watkins alluded to revitalization. That's critically important to us. We can't locate businesses in the area where we don't have rooftops. And so that revitalization of our community, where we're going to have some rooftops and some folks with incomes higher than what Mr. Watkins alluded to, that will drive business at the local level and incent regional businesses or national businesses to come in, not only to our city, but into this community as well. So that's very important to us as well. And then we have permits and construction, planning and design. Those types of things will be under Develop Louisville. Mr. Love, I've got a business. I need a new place for my entertainment company. We can do site selection and things like that under these Develop Louisville. So we can help you there. So I just want to make you aware of these new changes. July 1st is our new fiscal year. We'll move from this Economic Growth and Innovation Department to this new concept, this new agency called Develop Louisville Forward. So you want to become familiar with that. Plenty of articles out there online for that.
You mentioned online. What about online?
If you go to LouisvilleKY.gov, you'll be able to pull up the city's website. You have access then to all of the departments. The department specifically, right now it's still listed as Economic Growth and Innovation. You can click on that department. We've got a link that talks at length about Louisville Forward. Mary Ellen Wiederwall, who is currently the mayor's chief of strategic initiatives, will be now what we call the chief over that, and then she'll have several directors reporting up to her. All right, so we've got someone in government. Okay, there it is right here. And so, can't remember exactly where we have it on here. But it's on there. I won't take time, but if you go to that page, or Economic Growth and Innovation page, you'll see it. I think we've got a radio button here on the left, I believe, somewhere that you can click on it.
All of these different links will get you different parts of it.
Next thing I want to talk about and spend a few minutes on, everyone has their brochure here. This is the list of services that we offer in Economic Growth and Innovation. We will still offer these services under the new setup. Let me direct your attention to a couple things. Number one, first thing we have listed there is our ombudsman services. So if you're looking to start a business, you're looking to relocate a business, you've got some permitting issues, any of those type of matters, you can call me or any of my colleagues, and we can work with you to kind of mitigate those instances. We can help to grease the skids with our planning and design department or permitting department. We just worked with the company around the corner, needed a new permit for this large oven, so we can be real helpful in doing those types of things. Put you in contact with the councilman or woman. I personally work with 10 of our council members, and so if you have a business that you're going to be locating within their district and you want to make connection with them or see how they might be able to assist you through their office, I can help to facilitate those meetings. You'll notice in our brochure, not only do we do ombudsman type services, but one of the things I want to point out, we have our Metco loan program. And so we have everything from gap financing up to $100,000. Gap financing means that you need to be already engaged with the bank. Say, for instance, you're going to do a $200,000 deal, and the bank is going to give you $100,000. Then we can come behind and fill that gap of $100,000 to make that deal go. All of our money is tied to job creation, so we have some job creation goals that we'll need to talk about, some minimum investment levels. However, partnered with us in this new organization, Community Action Partnership has a microloan program, and we work with the microloan program. That can start, I think, as low as about $1,000 and then go up to $35,000 now. Our loans in our department, we like to start at about $75,000 up to that $100,000. But we can certainly, through my office, help you to access any of those loans. We also have a wonderful facade loan program. Some of you may be starting a small business and you said, you know, Mr. Love, we like to locate in West Louisville. I found something on Market Street or Broadway. However, it needs a little TLC on the outside. We can take our facade loan program, help you with signage, with painting, with landscaping, those types of things to really make that a viable business, make it, you know, welcoming to your, to not only to your clients, but give a nice look to the community as well. So we do that. We offer free renderings. So if you want to go into a building and say, yeah, I just can't really picture it, we can come out. We've got an architect on staff that works with us. We can do a rendering for you, show you what it could look like, and then help you to finance those changes, okay? So once you take a look through here, we've got a number of other programs. I won't spend a lot of time, but I want you to know that the Economic Development Department, we're here to serve you, not only with loans, not only with ombudsman services, but just like LCCC, we work with a number of community partners. We work hand in glove with Small Business Development Center, SBDC. So if you're looking to develop a business plan, or maybe you want someone to kind of critique your business plan, they're more than happy to do that. They have offices at the NIA Center, as well as downtown at GLI's headquarters, 614 West Main Street. So you can access that. We work with SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives. And like Mr. Watkins said, they can, LCCC can match you up with folks who have been in particular lines of business. That's what SCORE does. They've got a host of counselors that work with you. I'd have you to know that the Louisville branch of SCORE is in the top % in the nation. So we've got some of the best counselors in the country right here in Louisville. So you want to make sure you avail yourself of their services. Good thing about these two agencies, all of it is free. Okay? Our services obviously are free. You've already paid me and our staff through your taxes, so you can access those free. I'm a former banker, as a vice president at BB&T. I also do mock banker interviews. So if you want to come in and say, Mr. Love, what would happen if I walked into the bank and wanted a loan? This is my package. What should I expect? I walk you through a mock banker interview and kind of beat you up a little bit to see what you got, make sure that what you've got on paper really presents the best message. And so my job is to play devil's advocate for you to make sure that your package is as tight as possible. Okay? Last thing I want to leave you with, and if you've got any questions, feel free to call me. I'll leave business cards. Not in this particular pamphlet, but we also work very closely with the state on state incentives. Now, I'm assuming that maybe not now at your stage of business you would qualify for those, but as your businesses start to scale, those opportunities are out there. We want you to know that we can certainly talk to you about that as well. When I talked about the 5 clusters, and Mr. Watkins talked about, phasing in and phasing out, I also always want to point out, sometimes for some projects that are going on in town, like the Bridges project or things like that, I also want you all to be thinking about collaborating with other businesses. Because sometimes your business in and of itself might not have the capacity to fulfill a contract. But if the two of you got together, if Mr. Bennett and Ms. Allen got together and formed XYZ Corporation to go after the contract, they probably might have a better chance than they would individually. Always be thinking about how we can collaborate. call our office, call me. Be more than happy to kind of talk you through that process, help you to identify some folks that you might want to have a conversation with who can help you to get there. Okay? Last thing I want to talk about is this last handout. And it's called Digital Economic Corridor. As we were doing introductions, I noticed that several of you said, ClintonBennettPhotography.com. That's great. We want everybody here in Louisville to have a web presence. However, the landscape is changing such that, years ago we would push products out. I'm going to build X amount of widgets and somebody's going to come by and buy my widgets. These days, as Mr. Watkins alluded to, everybody's shopping online. So it's important to us, important to the mayor, that we actually have a digital presence with all of our businesses, okay? Especially in West Louisville. And so this walks you through some of those third parties where you can sign up. So you got Yelp, you've got Yahoo Local, you've got the Better Business Bureau. If you have a website and you're not drawing traffic from these sites, I think we've got 5 here listed, then you've done half your homework. You want to make sure that as people are Googling entertainment, that they're pulling up Erica Bledsoe Entertainment. Erica Denise Entertainment. Or you're pulling up Miss Allen's business. Or if you want a historian, the best in town, you want to pull up a Walter Hutchins. And so how can I optimize my search potential? And you can do that by utilizing these sites. And so I encourage you tonight, tomorrow, to go out there and make sure that you've gone through all of these sites to make sure that you optimize your business. Because right now it's about pulling customers to your business, not pushing out product. A lot of folks, we got folks online at the office, I shouldn't tell it, but people are shopping at their desk online. 15 minutes, I'm going to steal 15 minutes, I'm going to buy some shoes or a new purse or whatever it is. But you want to make sure they can readily find your business. And so the mayor and our department is pushing this all over town. We want to make sure that Louisville is a hot digital corridor, because that can drive a lot of business, especially for a small business who does not have a large marketing budget. This can really be a shot in the arm for you to get recognized and to drive traffic to your website, drive traffic to your business.
So do you have a free SEO plan? That cost?
Not at this time.
I thought that's what you were alluding to.
I wish I could say that. We have some partners that perhaps may come online that will help to build this initiative out for us. We're currently not right now. You've heard on the news the city's budget, so we don't have a lot of excess money to do a lot. Yes, sir.
I would say that's one of my businesses. So, I can give you some information about actually how to do some SEO on your own, some stuff that you can try to do that's free. You talk about search engines and directories and that kind of thing. There's a number of things you can do that will increase your web traffic just what we call organically, which means you don't pay for it, because SEO is really truly is expensive. There's a lot of stuff you can do yourself, and as a note, don't fall for the $29.95 a month deal, because it gets you nothing, I promise.
Right.
Absolutely. But before I take my seat, any questions for economic growth and innovation that I did not cover? Or Sam, anything that?
No, we can come back.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. We really wanted to have Scott here to get the cutting edge information. We decided to get the newspaper, and we got it built in-house. And July 1, we ought to begin to see a new fabric of excitement in our local community, especially for West Louisville.
Okay.
One of the things that we're going to be doing is finding ways to connect the dots, these resources, and hold accountable for the service. One of the things that Scott talked about, one thing that I'm suggesting, we also want to actually hold people accountable for delivering on those things. And that's a strategic role that we have chosen to play, because over our 25 years, we've had a lot of promises made, a lot of wonderful investments made, but as Mr. Kevin Fields wrestled with me about the return on investment, we can't tell you what that was. So we will be cultivating conversations with our business owners about accountability standards and measures we can use to ensure that those resources that are invested in community that support you, in fact, are provided real time, real impact. And that's a body of work that takes a lot of work to do because entrepreneurs are very, very busy. You're overwhelmed already, and we know that. So, Kevin, let me get to my piece of infrastructure support here at Old Walnut Street. Keep in mind all the things, one thing Scott shared with you. We have created here, invested here, this is $1 million on the first floor, but this whole entire campus. We invested in high quality facilities. We hope you agree with that here. We have already invested in high speed internet access. We already have wireless service. I mean, all the businesses who operate here, all the people coming with a laptop, you're online. No cost, you're online. It's available. We actually did an overextension of that. We have capacity here that is significantly more than we need. And that's because we couldn't predict the future. And we thought it was important to go ahead and pay the early costs now and get as much capacity as we could in here at Scott that we possibly could. So we really have an abundance of capacity for the new technology that may be coming. Already underground, already into this building, and already ready to move out to whichever way we want it to go. What we're working on now is trying to, as part of this e-commerce, is transfer that technology capacity to commercial services and return on an investment. So that's why you get this heavy dose of e-commerce and maritime now e-commerce. It's because the world is really after all of us as consumers. And they come at us different ways. And if you ever take time to look at all the things you buy, you get amazed where it's produced, how it got here, and who was all the middle people that made the money before it got to your refrigerator. Unbelievable markups. It covers a lot of middle people as it matriculates to the consumer. We need to understand that and get in line and play in that field. So we're going to try to figure ways to use technology to drive that kind of commercial development. We're looking for advisory boards and mentors. Those are those special skill set people who really just have a ton of knowledge and experience that can help us avoid some of the pitfalls that every business is going to have. Prevent that from happening, because what we know is the business we're going to work with, for the most part, do not have dollars to overcome all the errors that every business makes. You need to know that when you're uncapitalized, undercapitalized, the real test is when you make the mistake, can you recover from it? That's what really fails businesses, is the mistake. That's natural. You're going to make some mistakes. Do you have the money to hide the mistake? Most small businesses do not have the capital. And so that one mistake sinks that business. So we've got to get on the front end and really get information systems in place that really helps business owner avoid those pitfalls, those real high-risk errors that really sinks the business. On personnel recruitment, we're going to use our nonprofit status and our existing program to find you high-quality workers on us, our cost, not your cost. So we're going to become the kind of mini personnel department for you. When you post a job that you need, your specifications for that job, we go to work for that person that ultimately be hired and for your company, so your cost is relative low or not. That search starts. And we have a department whose role, whose job it is to find qualified workers for companies and industries that we work with every day. The highest priority will be those companies, those industry reps who are stationed here in our incubator. We'll be the first in line to support that. We have also capacity through relationships to bring in workers that you don't have to pay the full rate. To give you an early startup at a reduced cost. And so, example, you may a worker may work with you for 6 months, and someone else is paying that worker's wages while you get familiar with, use it as a temp service, see if I really want to keep this worker. It's a real word then. You're competing with other people who use temp service. They send me somebody else. Send me somebody else. It's not working. You have that opportunity, but not at your cost. You have that relationship with other providers, and we as the LCC can place those workers in your company as part of our training program. And you commit to train those workers, to help them get their feet on the ground. In return, you get a return on that investment through your training piece that hopefully will translate to that person really being a live employee of yours sometime soon, where they're producing for you what you need to be produced. Call answering service, with technology, that's not quite as big as it used to be, but that's still the piece that we talked about, certainly based on per business